Alright, today is August 12, 2013. Let's take a look at a couple of stock here. First of all, we're going to take a look at Apple, and then we're going to take a look at Netflix. What I want to do on this video here is, as you recall, if you have a chance to look at one of the weekend video that I put out, especially I sort of look at a split chart, one on the weekly basis, and then the other one was on daily basis. And we essentially was looking at a longer time frame for some long baseline breakout for some of the stock, and then the shorter one on the daily to look at some of the shorter term or price action. And on this one, what I want to do is I also going to use the 30-minute intraday chart. So essentially using multiple time frame to essentially to identify some of the potential target level, especially on the entry and exit, the support and resistance level, and some possible stop loss level. So let's take a look at Apple first. And on Apple, you could see that on the longer time frame, the weekly chart here, you could see that there is this sort of a double bottom here. You can see this nice little W here, and we're essentially looking for this to break above this pivot point, which is somewhere around the 474. Well, essentially it's somewhere around in the mid 460, but there's a higher near the intraday is somewhere around the 470, 472. Okay, so and once it break, we could possibly see it to maybe make it up here at this level, somewhere about a little bit above, maybe 510, and it could also get up to this 530, 535, 540 area. Okay, so that's the weekly chart. It's kind of gives us a little indication that there's this little double bottom or a W type of pattern here. And then if we go and take a look at the daily, you can see similarly here. If I draw some of these lines here, right? Essentially, we see this right here, and here's the double bottom. Right, that's essentially this W here. We're looking for it to break about these this baseline, and here's essentially the pivot down here slightly below this line. And then we also have this long-term trend line that is kind of got broken right out here, but then it came down and retested, penetrated through, and that's where it formed that double bottom that I kind of indicating. So if I move this back down here, right, and so you can see that the price today is trying to break above that. Last week it actually did. It broke through that at that 472, and it came back down, and today is trying to make another move. So definitely the Apple is kind of showing some strength that they want to break out of this double bottom pattern. And before we take a look at that a little bit more, let's go and take a look at the intraday chart here to see what are some of the potential resistance and support area. And if you can see, here's this 472 level here, right? And here's the little support here that kind of established the last few days of trading, and along with previous a couple of weeks ago on a Thursday. Okay, and then you can see that today it actually also got up to hitting this particular level of resistance. Okay, now, and if you look, there's actually an opportunity for one to get in on the tray here. You can see that it broke this trend line right here. Okay, it broke this trend line right here. And in addition to that, if you didn't get in here, you could also notice that there is this support level and also resistance, so that you could see that support turn into resistance. And then again, you could have got in here today, right, if you want to do these little short-term trade. Then when it got up here, it hit this resistance right here. Okay, this level of resistance. So if Apple is going to break about that 472, I wouldn't be surprised to see that it come up here and probably will encounter some resistance before it actually break out of this 472. Okay. So let's go back to the daily and take a look at where are some of the level that we could project up. Okay, the first thing is, if this is a double bottom here, and we could do a little bit of a major move, using a Fibonacci retracement tool, and let's just get a projection of where that major move will be. Right? If we essentially are looking at the 100% extension, so we're basically looking at the Fibonacci 200% extension here, and let me mark that line, that level there. Okay, let's get close enough. Right, so this is somewhere around 548, or somewhere in that level. Okay, and in addition to that, we see this big swing down here. Let's take a look at where is that give us. Right, here's this the 50% retracement. Right, so if Apple is going to retrace back to the 50%, that is close to this major move projected target price for this double bottom here. Right, so it's somewhere around that 545, 548. Right, so now then we look at another possibility, and if we want to take a look at the swing on here, right, let's say if we use a Fibonacci tool here to look at the swing up here, right, say breakout, and what would that give us on different level of these extension? If we play the 161 extension, it will be 520, right? And if the 141 will be basically the 504, and that's where this gap here, right? We're filling these gap here, okay? Right. Okay, this right here is the 141, okay? And then here is the 141, and here's the 161. Right, we're also filling another gap here, right? Okay, and what is this here? This remember this double bottom price target? Well, we're also filling this gap, so you can see that it's gap filling. Right? It's just coming up and fill the gap. So right now, essentially, you could watch this Apple, over here, getting back up, get above this level here to go long, or if you want to be a little aggressive, you could do something here, and then you can see that there is the support level, and also here are some of these possibilities. In this area, if it break below these level, then hey, we might be a little bit too early on this. So you could have your stop somewhere around here, or even below the support level, because supposedly if it have enough strength to break this resistance, and if it doesn't have enough momentum to continue to move away from this resistance and come back down, then we know that we might be premature of thinking that it's gonna go up higher. So then we just close out a trade and take our losses and wait for the next trade. So that's Apple, and so let's take a look at Netflix. Okay, Netflix is kind of interesting as well. We can see that if we first go to the weekly chart here, you can see here's this all-time high on Netflix. It's somewhere around 304.79. So let's just call it 305. And you see that ever since that it made a low down here back in 2012, it sort of came up and continued to defy all the short seller and just kind of squeeze them as they go up. And right now it seems like it's setting on another short squeeze here. And thing is, I wouldn't be surprised to see that Netflix actually will come up and hit those levels. So this 305 up here. Okay. And if we go back to the daily, you can see that I already sort of kind of got some trend line drawn in here. And let me take out this some of these guys here. So you can see that the low support line here, it came down. Let me take this out. Okay. And here's a trend line. Here's a support here, came down, and right now it seems like it want to break to here. Alright, this 258 level, and try to get back up to the 270. And if we get to that 270, then chances are we're gonna see that 300 or that 305 level. So if we kind of take a look at the Fibonacci using this swing up here, we could kind of get some idea of what that level some of the extension is going to be. Right. Okay, so it's the here was the the line that we drawn for that 305. So you can see that 161 will get us up to the 308. Okay, and if we go and take a look at the intraday chart here, right, and it's really kind of interesting on the intraday chart. If we could get the line here, you see this. Right, here's the these are the support level that actually turn into resistance. Right. Okay. And you can see that it's actually forming a nice cup and handle. So if we break this 256, 257, then we could probably see this guy make it up here to 270. So again, you can see some of these potential support level. Right? You see this, these resistance could turn into support. So if we take a trade up here, and if it gives us a little head fake and it come down, and it come back below this level here, then we could pretty much conclude that we might be a little bit premature. Or there's a possibility that we also get fake out too, and then we just have to go back in as soon as we realize that. Okay, so that's the the point of this video is kind of illustrate how to use multiple time frame, and be sure to use some of the intraday time frame. They kind of really give you a sometimes clear picture of the support and resistance level. If you look at Netflix, you see this cup and handle here, and then on the daily, you don't see that clearly. Although once you have identified that on the intraday, you probably could see that a little bit more on this particular chart here. Okay, so good luck.